So what is a zero trap and similar equations trap? Like as you see, zero trap, the value of zero, students don't end up considering it. So how this trap will set up? Either they will set it up by giving left hand side and right hand side the same variable, right? Common variable, like you see x cube and x. Okay, further sometimes they go about giving it x square, right? X square into x is equivalent to x into 5x minus 6. Students' eyes lit up when they see x and x, left hand side and right hand side, they strike off, which is not the right thing to do. Even if you do it, right? Even if you do it, let's say you do it, means consider that x is equivalent to 0, then do it. Okay, if the question says x is equivalent to not 0, then great. But otherwise, if x is equivalent to 0, then of course, first consider x is equivalent to 0, then simplify it dividing both sides with x. Now if you have divided it, you will have x square is equivalent to 5x minus 6. Okay, so solving it, x square minus 5x plus 6 is equivalent to 0. This is the quadratic equation form. Of course, I believe some students know already what is the quadratic equation form. If you don't know, we'll quickly see. In case in the subsequent videos, we'll cover the how to solve quadratic equation, whether factorization method or be it the formula. We'll discuss it. Okay, but the idea here is the cancelling of the common variable. When you do so, you do it, but also consider the value as 0 for that variable, whichever you're cancelling off. Or else do not cancel off. Write it like this: x square minus 5x square. I'm just opening the brackets here. It will be 5x square minus 6x. Bring it to the right hand side. X cube minus 5x square plus 6x is equivalent to 0. Bringing everything to the left hand side. X, if you take out common, you will have x square minus 5x plus 6 is equivalent to 0. Now you see a into b, not necessarily both a and b both has to be 0. This is a and this is b, means a into b equivalent to 0 means any one of them has to be 0. Either a equivalent to 0 or x square minus 5x plus 6 equivalent to 0. That is, x could be equivalent to 0 here, or x square minus 5x plus 6 is equivalent to 0. So x is equivalent to 0 is one of the solution. So that's what you have to keep in mind. If they say x is not equivalent to 0 in the condition in the question itself, that time you can ignore this, you can cancel off the common variable, but otherwise this is always a part of the solution of this equation, right? So never ever cancel off the common variables unless they say the 0 condition, okay? Or else keep in mind, equal to means equating left hand side with right hand side. Maybe a linear equation x is equivalent to something, or a quadratic equation or polynomial, it could be anything. So left hand side should be equivalent to the right hand side. You see here, left hand side, if you substitute x is equivalent to 0 is also 0, right hand side is also 0, 0 into anything anyway is 0 only. So you see left hand side is equivalent to right hand side, right? So even if you substitute the other values of x here, what are the other values of x? So minus 5x can be split and written as minus 3x minus 2x plus 6 is equivalent to 0. If you take out x from the first two terms, you will have x minus 3. Minus 2, if you take out common, you will have x minus 3 again. If you take x minus 3 out common between these two terms, you will have x minus 2 equivalent to 0. So x will be either 3, 2 as well as x is equivalent to 0. There are three possible values of x for this given equation. Okay, do not ignore x is equal to 0. So that's the first thing which you have to learn as far as the equations are concerned, zero trap. Second thing is a similar equations trap. As you see the name itself, similar equations. Both the equations are one and the same, but they will show it like, they will provide like there are two different equations. It will look like there are two different equations, but not necessarily they are two different. For an example, 2x plus 5y is equivalent to 10, y is equivalent to 50 minus 10x by 25. What happens, students, what they do, they'll just substitute the y value here. Immediately their eyes lit up, okay, y value is given, I'll substitute. Okay, they will do that and they end up having the confusion. Okay, 5 get cancelled, 5 by 50 by 5 10, 10 by 5 2, so 10 minus 2x is equivalent to 10, 2x plus 10 minus 2x is equal to 10, 10 2x it cancel off, 10 equal to 10. You couldn't solve for x. Technically, you are solving the, you're substituting the same equation into it. Same value of y in the, same, whatever 2x plus y is equal to 10. Whatever the value of y, the same into the same equation, you will have left hand side equivalent to the right hand side. 10 will be equivalent to the right 10. it will equate. But what is the value of x or y? There is no one unique value of x and y, because there are infinitely many values of x and y, because there are similar equations. You see this particular value of y, if I just little bit rearrange it, 25y, 50 minus 10x, basically 10x plus 25y is equivalent to 50. If you divide throughout by 5, you will have 5x plus, 2x plus 5y is equivalent to 10, which is as similar to this equation, right? 2x plus 5 is equal to 10. Both are one and the same equation, basically. They are not different. So if there are no two different equations, and if there are two variables, you can't find one unique solution unless there is conditions on x and y. There is no condition. Value of x, simply they have asked. So definitely there are many values, infinitely many values of x. As the y value keep changing, x value keep changing, right? If I substitute y value as 1, x will be then 2.5. Y value as 2, x value could be 0. Right? It keeps changing on, right? So as the value of y and x, y you change it, x value keep changing. So similar equations, keep in mind, if you see two equations provided to you, two variables, not necessarily always there are two different equations. Maybe they are similar equation and there are infinitely many solutions for it. Okay, so these two traps are very popular in the word problems, equations word problems. Keep in mind and be careful when you are when you are getting these type of equations in your calculations or in your questions.